people tend to believe that it's something that will go away over time, or that time heals everything. Fair enough, given time, the experience is easier to process. But if you don't talk about it, there is no way that any healing can happen, or you can make the person understand what went on, allow them to accept it or forgive themselves, which are again very three important parts of understanding what a negative experience or a trauma means. You must make sense of it. You must understand what the emotions were, how you felt during the experience, perhaps try and understand what the person's motivations were, why you felt a certain way, and process all of that. Break it down into little chunks and try and understand everything that goes on behind it. The second step is to accept that it happened. It might have happened 20 years ago, or it might have happened 5 years ago. But the point is, acceptance is key, because people who have been abused as children, or children who have just very recently been abused, they feel a sense of fear and guilt and shame that they're going to carry through for the rest of their lives. And to tell them that it's okay, or to make them feel that it's not their fault, just that little bit of acceptance makes them feel like a load has been lifted off them, because they're constantly blaming themselves, because the perpetrator will make it feel like it's their fault, because it's the easiest way to shift blame and guilt onto somebody else. The third step is to forgive yourself and eventually forgive the perpetrator, because you realize that they might have had motivations behind it that were not in their control, or whatever it is. But acceptance and forgiveness are probably the two most important steps in therapy, where you deal with what's happened and you're able to give yourself a voice to understand what went on within yourself, what went on with everybody else around you, why you reacted the way you did, why it made you feel the way you felt. And it doesn't debilitate you as much. You take it as an experience that happened, that was very difficult at the time, that changed you and made you who you are today. But that hasn't made you a horrible person, that hasn't victimized you, and that hasn't made you somebody who's lesser than anybody else.